Then they revealed on the Creator Clash thing that they made 34%.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody watching today's YouTube video, we're back with some more slob about iDubbbz and Creator Clash. I know, almost 3 back-to-back iDubbbz videos, aren't you lucky? I apologise for no slop for one day. I've had loads of people coming up my throat for no uploads and saying that they want me to cover this iDubbbz stuff, so I will be doing it. Also, this is a last-minute slop topic, so this works pretty well. So without further ado, let's dive straight into this, and I apologise for missing a day of slop.
But then they revealed on the Creator Clash thing that they made 34%.
So first off, I actually want to go over iDubbbz's response to the 34% thing being revealed by Creator Clash, something that actually dropped straight after I dropped my original video, which was just amazing. To my fans slash viewers. See, he's had to clarify viewers because he's got no fans left. I wanted to clear some things up now that Anisa and I are no longer part of Creator Clash. When I announced Creator Clash 3 and its new business model, the communication wasn't clear. Looking back on my video and the current reaction, it's obvious it was too vague. It remains true that I earned a fight purse for Creator Clash 1 along with the other fighters, and we did not profit at all from Creator Clash 2. After Creator Clash 2 failed to raise any money for charity, we knew it was time for a different business model. We structured so the funds for our charity partner would be raised on Tiltify separate and apart from the actual event. We then decided this year we would take a profit share from the for-profit of the event. Should the for-profit side of the event succeed, I feel sorry for any confusion Anisa and I caused. We know the event is in good hands now and I wish it all the success. Communication wasn't clear, was it iDubbbz? It was practically non-existent. There was zero communication here. You've put this event into a massive hole, so yeah, maybe it will succeed, maybe it won't, but it's really funny you're wishing it well. In regards to all the stuff with Harley and all the other fighters, you taking 34%, you and Anisa, is hilarious. Of course, recently Harley actually went on an Ethan Klein stream, so we've got that to go over now.
But then they revealed on the Creator Clash thing that they made 34%. And you know what? I wasn't really taken aback, or
you weren't surprised by that.
I knew they were going to make money. I thought maybe they would have taken a salary or something.
34% is genuinely insane, and to not disclose that whatsoever for nobody to know is even more insane. There's no transparency, there's no communication, and iDubbbz and Anisa are two-faced liars.
I didn't know how it worked. So that's not outlandish, but I thought it was pretty crazy that Creator Clash shared it. Made me feel like maybe they got maybe there's bad blood going on.
That was 1000% a sneak diss. There is no other way to interpret that.
I definitely believe revealing that information was a sneak diss. It put iDubbbz on top of everything. It made him have to respond to something. It also showed that yes, we're going to be transparent and we're going to try and communicate unlike previously. It was almost like a show of oust. But unfortunately that won't save Creator Clash 3. They genuinely might as well just set up in a supermarket somewhere and have a scrap, and that probably would get more attention and more fighters.
They knew it was going to cause a shitstorm. They went completely out of their way to mention it. Here, let me pull it up.
That's a really hard question.
Shut up. God, I hate her. She's the worst.
I'm so glad that Creator Clash revealed the 34% thing in their transparency Q&A section. It very much made iDubbbz panic, and you can really feel that in his half-assed Reddit response.
Or no?
No, out of those 3, I like Aaron the least by far, and I really like Aaron a lot. So, I mean, that's all I got to say.
Wow, that's a stunning endorsement. So,
no, but I was curious though, because Aaron was involved in the first 2, so I don't know what the like the thing about, like you were saying, you wouldn't blame the people who inherit Creator Clash. Nor would I, because they got to pick up the pieces. But I don't know what the breakdown was or the dynamic any step of the way.
You were involved with Creator Clash 2, and now you've decided to retroactively come onto Creator Clash 3 now, in current day. That is on you. That is your fault. You know what you're getting into with Creator Clash 2. Now, you know what you're getting into with Creator Clash 3 as you've watched it fail. I have no sympathy for any of these people, and half these people have a dodgy past when it comes to Creator Clash. No, I'm not talking about fighters like Dad, who genuinely just want to raise money for charity, who thought they would do something good, right? Who went on Creator Clash 1, fought on there, went on did Creator Clash 2, fought on there, and wanted to do Creator Clash 3 to try and further raise money for charity. I commend that and respect that.
So for me personally, like when iDubbbz and Anisa left, I'm not, as a fighter, I mean, I wouldn't be like, oh, cool, now it's a new person. I actively worked with Ian and Anisa because I enjoyed working with them, but I don't really like working with content creators because of basically how it turned out in the end, how it is now. But initially, I'm picky with who I would work with. So if there's a whole new dynamic going on there, it's on a new date, fighters are backing out. It's kind of just, it is a different event.
There's also a huge lingering question. What sane content creator will be coming onto this event to fight, to replace the people that have left? What content creator would put themselves in that position? After seeing the failure of not only Creator Clash 2, but the apprehensible damage of Creator Clash 3, who would genuinely risk their reputation and career to retroactively come onto the event to fight? I'm going to say nobody. It's going to be literally nobody's.
But what's... Like, I mean, when you bring up the profit thing, I know someone was going to get paid. I know someone's going to make money, obviously, but because of all the bad vibes around the event, they have to kind of explain more things and be transparent.
It should have been transparent from the beginning. Of course, there are going to be things behind the scenes that they don't reveal, but they should be revealing the majority of things they are now revealing, and the only reason they're doing that now is because they've been put into a corner where their event is on the cusp of completely flatlining. So no, nobody is sitting there going, oh, well done for being so transparent and giving them a little clap. They should have been transparent with half of that stuff from the beginning. It should have been more clear. There should have been communication. There should be communication between Creator Clash and the fighters, which there has clearly been a lack of. Nobody knows what's happening. Still, to this day, there are things that are left unanswered.
About more things. So I'm just curious, like, how much does Aaron make from Creator Clash 3?
Sure, you know? Yeah, I think that's a totally fair. I think you're right. I think full transparency here is needed. Frankly, I'm surprised that they even want to fucking do this. To me, that seems like so, ambition. But he's dedicated. He wants to do it. He thinks he can pull it off. I mean, I know he's a big like force, right, in the creator space, I think. So maybe he can do it.
No, I don't think anybody can save this event. It's way too late to save this event. No amount of transparency and apologies is going to save this event. It will be a failure in October, like it's a failure currently. If you are fighters, or you are content creators, or you are anybody coming onto the event this stage, right? This stage of Creator Clash 3, not towards the beginning, you are mental. Of course, those were the main clips of Harley circulating that when he went on H3 stream. Of course, Anisa has been chatting more shit about Ethan Klein on her Twitter, and I've got to a point where I really can't be asked to cover half the shit she says on her Twitter, because she is just throwing a tantrum half the time, and maybe, just maybe go back to fucking therapy, love. It made me think that after the deep hole that Ian and Anisa have both found themselves in, that they would just shut up. That they wouldn't say anything, that they would only be responding to this 34% thing, and they would actually put out a thought-out response. It would take them time, instead of constantly running their mouths about H3 and digging themselves a deeper hole. A clip that H3 recently posted, and it kind of ties into the 34% thing, really caught my eye that I want to play.
What really made me mad about boxing events in the past is that it's rich assholes betting their money to make money to like have people that are struggling to like make ends meet and pay rent watch them do it, and then they'll go home and like have a lot of money.
Yeah, Anisa, I know, horrible business, but these two tards recently that planned on taking 34%, and you know, it's horrible business, really bad stuff, and they're really greedy and idiotic, and you know, I really agree with you, Anisa.
And the fighters are exploited too, like usually.
I think what really made me mad about boxing events in the past is that it's rich assholes.
Ethan Klein, to answer your question, no, nobody is home. If anybody was home, they would have actually thought about the response to the 34% thing and actually come out with an apology. Or come out with something to just admit that, yeah, we fucked up really badly on Creator Clash 3 and Creator Clash 2. But no, they won't do that. There is literally 0 people. But ladies and gentlemen, it does not stop there, because my favourite fucking slop-tuber, Ludwig, has actually, you know, weighed in on this whole charity stuff.
So funding it through various sponsorships, but mostly ticket sales and...
So it was a scam? I feel like that has to be like the worst faith interpretation. I think if an event is successful and raises $1.3 million for charity on their first go around, their big plan isn't like, oh my God, and this next time we run it, we're going to make, you know, money for ourselves. Now that we've raised the 1.3 million for charity, now we get to make some money of our own. You would just take the 1.3 mil on the first go around. Like 1.3 mil is a lot of money, bro.
Really, Ludwig? My god, I really appreciate Ludwig's commentary here, right? Telling us that 1.3 million is a lot of money. Jesus Christ. Revolutionary.
That's hella bread. So I feel like you're just not... If you're looking at it in a vacuum, yeah, I think you could call that a scam. But you're ignoring the context of the first one that was hella successful.
Does anybody genuinely believe that Ian and Anisa set out to scam people in Create Clash 2? That was their sole intention, regardless of what happened. Honestly, Ludwig is a huge idiot, and I've only played that clip now because, you know, our favourite nobody, Sean DeBlack, who was in that content cop on Ethan Klein, has actually weighed in on Ludwig, and, you know, he had some critiques for him, and I bet they're great.
Like, why would you not talk about the people and this is crazy, because this would not apply to anywhere else. This would not apply anywhere else. Anywhere else. Only applies to Ethan. Ethan is the only person who gets a pass for torpedoing his own admission, torpedoing a charity event.
Very easy response here. Simply, Create Clash 3 wasn't a charity event. If I took a shit and put a GoFundMe link underneath it, was that shit a charity shit? No. Create Clash 3 has been flawed from the beginning and has had things to genuinely critique and talk about. I don't care if it was an actual charity event or would have been an actual charity event. I would have still talked about it, I still would have critiqued it because they fucked up on several different levels. Especially now, you can't just hide behind the shield of, it's a charity event.
Why are we giving Ethan a pass for saying he wants the charity event to fail, effectively getting the charity event to fail and to postpone, and for the original creators to divest from it?
Not a charity event, not a charity event, it's an event with a charity link. This isn't just a thing with Ethan Klein where he just wants the event to fail. No, most people do, because it's a shit show that has fucked over the fighters.
I feel like, and this is weird, right? I feel like that's shit Ludwig would talk about. If any other creator made it their mission to be like, there's a charity event going on, I'm going to fucking torpedo it. I'm going to make it my fucking mission to make sure that event fails. I feel like that would be a little bit of something that like people would talk about.
See, the difference here would have been if it was an actual charity event and it wasn't an event where they just linked to charity, a Tiltify link, then yeah, if you were the arsehole who was going after an actual charity event that was being successful, was raising money for charity, was actually a charity event, then yeah, Ludwig and lots of other people would be talking about it. That's just simply not the case. We're not talking about an event where, yeah, this is doing great, right? This is doing really well. This is an actual charity event and some guy's just going after it for the sake of going after it because he doesn't like the people running it. No, that's not the case. We're talking about an event that linked a charity, a Tiltify link, a person who watched a drama video has made more money for that than the actual event itself. That's what we're talking about.
Everybody wants to talk about how bad and mean iDubbbz is for responding to Ethan Klein. Responding?
Because that content cop was the catalyst for where Create Clash ended up now. If iDubbbz had simply just waited to respond to Ethan Klein until after Create Clash 3 wouldn't be in such the dire state that it currently is. That is why. That's all I'm going to talk about in reference to Sean DeBlanc, because it's a guy who is insufferable, infuriating, doesn't make any sense, and is blinded by iDubbbz's spunk. That's all for today's video. I've gone over everything that I wanted to go over in reference to Create Clash 3, iDubbbz, and Anisa. Again, I do want to apologise for the lack of slop yesterday. Was insanely busy, still am kind of insanely busy, and really can't make a slop video. That's why I'm making an iDubbbz one. Familiar subject was more easy to research than diving into a fresh topic, which would have been harder, but I'm hoping that tomorrow I will be able to get a video out there on either Wendigoon or Ninja. I'm working on both of them currently, and hopefully those will be good videos that you are interested in. Hearing lots of people are interested in more of the Wendigoon stuff, and he actually dropped something on Twitter today, so yeah, that'll be interesting. But again, sorry for that, and I hope you're enjoying the iDubbbz slop, as lots of people are asking for me to cover the situation more, so yeah. But I've been your host, Samuel. If you did enjoy today's video, please leave me a comment down below what your thoughts are on all of this. Once you're done, you want to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And I'll catch you in the next YouTube video. Goodbye.